So yesterday I heard something which pretty much became the inspiration for today's video. Um, I'm going to tell a quick story, but before I do that, I just want to encourage you to stay through the end of the video because I'm going to share with you 3 tips that I am sure will help you with your boys. Okay. Now back to that story. So when I was 16, my father passed away. I was 16, almost 17, and when he passed away, well, first let me say, so I had 16 years, 16 great years of seeing my father in action and my father be a husband and a father. When he passed away, people started bestowing upon me the title of man of the house. So, you're the man of the house now. You're the man of the house now. And my mom, I don't think my mom ever really did that, but it came from a lot of outside sources. And as a 16-year-old, that was somewhat overwhelming. And not only was it overwhelming, but I did not really know what it meant, even though I saw a great example of a father for 16 years prior. So I internalized it to pretty much mean that I can kind of do whatever it is I want to do. And, that I'm the man of the house, you know what I'm saying? So it's just, this is my house almost. And so I remember one time my mom, she had the computer in her room, and I guess I wanted to use it. And we even had company over. And I'm embarrassed to even say this, thinking and looking back on it. But I wanted to use the computer. And, I think she was tired or something. And so she said no. And I was like, what do you mean no? This is as much my room as it is your room. Right. Yeah, I was crazy enough to say that. But again, it goes back to saying I didn't really know what it meant to be the man of the house. And so now as an adult, and I talk to some of my female friends, and I kind of hear that they might be dealing with a man who is not necessarily operating in the role of man of the house the way that they thought they would. And so what do I mean by that? Maybe the guy is not working, so he's not contributing financially. Maybe, stays at home. He doesn't do anything around the house to contribute. So, the grass it needs to be cut and he won't cut it. Not taking out garbage, not cook, not doing anything to really contribute around the house. Or maybe he works, but his money is his money. He's buying whatever he wants. He's not contributing to paying any bills or buying any groceries or anything like that. Right. And so, I started thinking about that whole idea. And then I started thinking about the whole idea of the man of the house. And, this is pretty much what I've come up with. And again, this is just my take on it. You might have a different take, but this is what I suggest to you. We start telling young boys that they are the man of the house if they are a male and they are the only male in the house or the oldest male in the house, right? So we can start, and this is how, again, this happened yesterday, right? I seen this happen yesterday, and it made this whole topic basically come up in my mind. But anyway, so it might be a 9-year-old, and we give them the title of man of the house. Well, a 9-year-old is not doing anything to be the man of the house other than being a boy and being in the house, right? But when you're given that title at such a young age, you think that that's all that being a man or the man of the house is made up of, right? As long as I'm a male, I'm in the house, man of the house, cool. And unfortunately, our women, I think, kind of buy into that, right? They start giving them the big piece of chicken and everything else, right? That's my man of the house. And I think that's actually a disservice. So what I want to suggest that we do a few things, or make sure that our young boys have a few things before we give them that title of man of the house. I think this will go a long way in making sure that we're putting out men that are responsible and quality men that can actually hold down that title. So the first thing I want to suggest to you is that we make sure our boys are responsible and that we teach them responsibility. Okay? They must learn how to be responsible for their actions as well as their choices. But to take it a step further, we have to make sure that they're responsible and knowledgeable about how their choices affect other people. Now, I'm not saying that we need to teach them to make choices based off of other people, because that wouldn't be that's not something I'm condoning. But we do need to be cognizant of how the choices that we make affect other people. So we need to teach our children responsibility and our boys responsibility. That leads me to the second point. We need to teach them selflessness. One of the surest ways to tell that you have a man on your hands is when you see an individual operate in selflessness. It takes a mature person to realize that the world does not revolve around them. And that not only does the world not revolve around them, but what they are really here for is to make people around them better. When you have someone that's operating in manhood or in manliness or whatever you want to call it, right? When they're operating as a man, they understand that it's their job to make others around them better, right? We're supposed to come places and build, and things are supposed to be better when we leave. And that's one of the things that we need to make sure we're teaching our young boys about. And then last but not least, we need to make sure that we teach them, or that they know, to respect you. Because the man of the house respects the woman of the house. It's just that simple. When you have a man of the house, he's going to make sure that other people respect you as well. So if we want to give that title of man of the house to our boys, these are 3 areas that they need to be operating as men in. And if they operate as men in those 3 areas, I think it's going to take care of so many of the other things that could be on this list, right? Because again, I'm not trying to give you a list of 10 or anything. Because if they can make sure they have if you can make sure they have these 3 areas locked down, then you will have a pretty good man on your hands, pretty good young man on your hands. He should be able to handle that title of man of the house. All right. So anyway, I'm interested to hear what you think. The easiest way to get in contact with me is you can go to my website, www.askadaddy.com. And I have a Facebook link and a Twitter link on that website. The Facebook link will take you to a Facebook group where we can actually start a dialogue. And again, I can hear what you have to say, as well as you can hear what other people in the Ask a Daddy community have to say, or you can follow me on Twitter. All right. Thank you. Have a good day.